Okay, I guess we have to suffer through more of the Republican National Convention. Nikki Haley endorsed Donald Trump. Of course, everybody who was in the runnings against him ended up endorsing him in the end. So let's go ahead and take a look at what that looks like. I will say, though, is the RNC just a series of speeches? If it's just a series of speeches, this is the most boring crap on the planet. But I will try to make it more interesting by doing this as lay YouTuber react content. You know, that thing that people like, ostensibly, for some reason. But first, let's get to the fan art section. This one is from Shoutout. It says, Neko Slime Suris is now part of my standard software class solution. Oh, well, what's that Slime Suris doing to the other Slime Suris? That feels kind of weird, kind of strange. The next one we have here is from Stoff. Said, I got bored and did a femme channel pup Vroid model. Decided that cheeky tomboy was the vibe, apparently. Well, that's it. Channel pups got boobs now, just like me. Mine are because I'm fat. Thank you for your fan art submissions, y'all. If you want your fan art to be shown in a future video, the best way to do so is to drop it into the fan art section of the Discord. That said, let's go ahead and see what is going on here. Boop.
And now you see Donald Trump there standing and cheering on Ambassador Haley, the former governor of South Carolina, as she comes to the stage. Let's now listen to her remarks.
So I have a question. Is the entirety of the Republican National Convention just, let me go on, let me grandstand, let me say things that are going to make people feel nice and fuzzy, and then let me suck Donald Trump's dick? Is that all this is going to be? I think that's all I'm going to hear. Let's see if that's the case. A lot of that. A lot of...
My fellow Republicans.
Woo, they called me a Republican. I'm so happy.
President Trump asked me to speak to this convention in the name of unity.
It's the name of unity, but it's the Republican National Convention, not the bipartisan National Convention.
It was a gracious invitation, and I was happy to accept.
Because it makes me more popular.
I'll start by making one thing perfectly clear.
Okay.
Donald Trump has my strong endorsement, period.
Of course, because it would be political suicide not to give Donald Trump your support as a Republican at the Republican National Convention, just like everybody else who has been sucking his mushroom. Onyx Virus for the 100 bits says, I met a guy from Japan the other day. He was looking rather sickly, so I said to him, Udon looks so good there, pal. That's awful.
Our country is at a critical moment. We have a choice to make.
We always do.
For more than a year, I said a vote for Joe Biden is a vote for President Kamala Harris. After seeing the debate, everyone knows it's true.
My guy, you know that everybody said that when the first running happened between Biden and Trump, right? In 2020, everybody said that a vote for Biden would be a vote for Harris. And then it never happened. I don't think I care. I don't think I care if the vote goes for Kamala Harris. Like, I don't agree with the way she handled stuff back when she was involved in law enforcement, but we're at a juncture now where if I have to take Kamala Harris over the wannabe dictator who scores 8 out of 10 on both Umberto Eco and Lawrence's 10 points of fascism, then I'm sorry, I'm gonna take the other woman. Is it... Like, I don't see the issue at that point. If y'all fucking suck, I'm just gonna take the one that sucks the least.
If we have 4 more years of Biden, or a single day of Harris, our country will be badly worse off.
How? So, like, I'll just say this. If I were to say the country would be worse under Donald Trump, I can articulate it pretty well. In fact, I can actually go ahead and just pull up an entire 900-page document on the shit that Donald Trump is going to do if he gets in office. It's very easy to articulate these things. It's very easy to point to things that he's done, like smoke bombing American citizens to get a fucking photo op. Things he's done, like banning trans people from the military, when that's one of the only ways that many of them have access to trans healthcare in the first place. I can point to a lot of things the dude has done, and I can point to things that he wants to do afterwards, like banning HRT, which is kind of important for people who I love and care about. Stuff that he has publicly said he's going to do. So what stuff is Biden doing that's going to be the problem? What's the big thing? Is it just like leftist bad? Is that as much as you can get?
For the sake of our nation, we have to go with Donald Trump.
Behold, I'm going to emotionally blackmail you into voting for Donald Trump. No actual reason for it. Just
But
vibes.
There's more to it than that.
No, there's not, but elaborate.
We should acknowledge that there are some Americans who don't agree with Donald Trump 100% of the time.
That's every human being ever. There's nothing special about that.
I happen to know some of them. And I want to speak to them tonight.
Why does that merit applause? Man, if there's one thing I can say that I was happy about when I was on the fucking panel with Vosh, it was that people would, like, start applauding, and we would just go, stop, not time, and it worked. It worked. Whether it was me, or Vosh, or Jack, or Shill Goblin, or we're in hell, like, at least to a degree, people stopped applauding in the middle of random things. But, okay.
My message to them is simple. You don't have to agree with Trump 100% of the time.
Again, that's how all humans operate. It's not about agreeing 100% of the time. There's plenty of things I don't agree with that Biden did. Especially some of the shit he did that fucked over railway union workers. That's not the problem, you daft bitch. The problem is that this is a person to whom the disagreements that we have are so vastly magnified. That's the part that matters. I can disagree with Trump on a billion things and they won't matter. That's how I am with all of my friends. But if we disagree on, say, my girlfriend being allowed to have access to HRT, then that's going to be a sticking point. And even if I agree with you on 99% of things, if you disagree with me on that one, I'm just going to call you a monster, tell you to fuck off, and probably start doing some things to sabotage your life.
To vote for him.
So the whoopee cushion will be coming.
Take it from me. I haven't always agreed with President Trump. But we agree more often than we
Pride
disagree.
510, this is how democracy dies, with thunderous applause.
Yep.
We agree on keeping America strong.
Whatever the fuck that means.
We agree on keeping America safe.
Whatever the fuck that means.
And
Notice how these are all
we agree
platitudes?
that Democrats have moved so far to the left that they're
How?
putting our freedoms in danger.
Which freedoms? Which ones? Can you articulate one?
I'm here tonight because we have a country to save.
From what?
And a unified Republican Party is essential for saving her.
How? Oh my fucking... It's all platitudes. There's not a single bit of substance in this whole thing. There's no whys. There's not a single why anywhere in this whole fucking speech. It's insane. It's just dick-sucking Donald Trump. It's exactly what I thought I was getting into. Again. It doesn't make any sense to me. Right? These people will cheer at anything, regardless of how much substance it has. It's sad. It's sad. It's not even infuriating. I'm not angry. I'm pitying these people. A couple of fluffy words is all you need. You don't need any kind of evidence. You don't need facts. You don't need policy. You don't need any of that. You just need $20 words. And you'll go along. You'll go along with anything. It's maddening. It makes no sense. Depraved Ambient says there's no substance because the audience fills in whatever gaps they want with what they like. The audience is not the most well-informed. No, this is just how people act in masses in general. It's super saddening to see. There's the cheers. Do I care about the rest of her speech? It's just...
For those who have some doubts about President Trump, I want to tell you a few things about the Commander-in-Chief I know and worked with.
Okay.
As ambassador to the United Nations, I had a front row seat to his national security policies.
Okay.
We sure could use those again.
Do you want to say what those policies were? Do you want to tell us what that was? You're just like, I saw some things I liked. And boy howdy, wouldn't it be great if I saw those things again? What were they? Cut and eviscerate that man. We're not supposed to say the whys. We're not supposed to do that.
Think about it. When Barack Obama was president, Vladimir Putin invaded Crimea. With Joe Biden as president, Putin invaded all of Ukraine.
So, okay. You know, correlation doesn't mean causation, right? You know that's just literally happenstance. I'm sorry, it had nothing to do with Biden being president or Obama being president. Correlation and causation are not the same fucking things. Trump didn't sit there and go, or not Trump, but Putin didn't sit there and go, you see, now that Donald Trump is president, we cannot invade a nation because otherwise he'll come to my door and kiss my ring. That would be awfully embarrassing. Instead, I'm going to do it with the Democrats because I know he'll oppose me. But I'll not hit the NATO nations, so we can't do anything about it without looking really stupid. Is that where Putin was? I don't think Putin literally went, yes, Biden is president. Now's my time. Freaking hell.
But when Donald Trump was president, Putin did nothing. No invasions.
Do you want to know why that probably was? So there's an MI6 document everybody should read. Everybody. In fact, let me see if I can find it, because I know I sent it to Vice Rhino. So I'm going to see if I can't find this particular document. Where did I put it? It's reactive, Fuji Tech. Let's see. I bet you I will be able to find it fairly quickly, except... Man, I'm having to go past every single time Rhino has sent me a thing on getting into the Zoom calls. Let's see here. Clarence Thomas. Zoom cloud meeting. Is Canada going to be safe? I don't know. That's the thing. I don't know. I wish I could give you an honest answer on that one. I would assume so, because America's not Canada. But that's not a guarantee either. Did I not send it to him? That'd be really weird for me not to do so. Transgender teams in bathrooms. No, I guess I'll have to find it later. Anyway, there is... I guess I'm just going to have to do something I really hate fucking doing. But I have a stream from ages ago where I was covering the document. There's an MI6 document that has a whole bunch of notes about the ways that Russia is trying to destabilize the United States. In the investigation that MI6 did on Russia, they found that Russia would use wedge issues like trans rights and gun issues and abortion to try to divide America. People like Donald Trump that can be patsies to Putin are really, really useful for that particular thing. Whether that says anything about Putin specifically deciding to do stuff while Trump is president or not is up to you. But what you'll get with Trump is not somebody who will stand strong against Putin and make him afraid. What you'll get with Trump is somebody who'll go have tea with him and call him a best friend. Nox Lupus says it's a well-known phenomenon because we know why those correlations particularly happen. I swear that I had the document. Man, I'm really upset because I know I had this and I sent it. I'm fairly certain I sent it to Rhino, but apparently not. Apparently, I did not send it to Rhino the way that I thought. I'll have to ask him to see if he can send me that instead at some point later. That's a bit upsetting. Oh, well. I guess we go back to watching the RNC as usual. Kind of upset about that. I really don't like not having a source that I know exists.
No invasions, no wars. That was no accident. Putin didn't attack Ukraine because he knew Donald Trump was tough.
No, he didn't attack Ukraine because Trump was his patsy, and we saw that multiple times throughout Trump's presidency.
A strong president doesn't start wars. A strong president prevents wars. Then look at the Middle East. Every problem in that part of the world can be laid at the feet of Iran. The dictators who chant death to America are the bankrollers and weapons suppliers for Hamas and Hezbollah. They're behind the barbaric massacres and the hostage-taking.
So we're just going to ignore the wholesale slaughter of civilians done by Israel, right? We're just going to just ignore that?
Once again, compare Trump and Biden. Trump got us out of the insane Iran nuclear deal.
Biden got us out of Afghanistan. What the fuck do you want, you dumb bitch? Biden got us out of Afghanistan. What the fuck do you want, you dumb bitch? Biden got us out of Iraq. Biden got us out of Iraq. Biden got us out of Afghanistan. What the fuck do you want, you dumb bitch?
imposed the toughest sanctions ever on Iran. And he eliminated the arch-terrorist Qasem Soleimani.
Did he?
Iran was too weak to start any wars. They knew Trump meant business, and they were afraid. And then there's Joe Biden. He lifted the sanctions. He begged them to get back into the nuclear deal. He surrendered in Afghanistan. He sent every possible sign of weakness.
Surrendered in Afghanistan is a sign of weakness? I thought that was a sign that we valued the lives of our troops more than we valued foreign affairs. Not very America first of you.
Even now, while Hamas is still holding Americans hostage, Biden is pressuring Israel instead of the terrorists.
Because the hostage holding is happening mostly because it is thousands more, like literally multiplication tables more deaths happening on the end of Gazans than on the end of Israelis.
Between Israel and Hamas, Donald Trump is clear about who is our friend and who is our enemy.
No, he wasn't. He went to fucking Russia and North Korea to go play pal orgies with people.
Then look at the border. It's the single biggest it's the single biggest threat Americans face.
How? In what fucking way?
Under Joe Biden, migrants are coming into our country by the thousands every day.
Yeah, we're doing that under Trump too.
We have no idea who they are, where they end up, or
you have no idea who most Americans are. It doesn't matter.
What they plan to do. And let me remind you, Kamala had one job, and that was to fix the border. Now imagine her in charge of the entire country.
You know, half of them are booing because she's a woman, right?
Under Donald Trump, we didn't have the border disaster we have today, and we won't when he is president again. I was proud to serve America in President Trump's cabinet, and I'll tell you something you won't hear from the critics. He appreciated advice and input. Americans were well served by his presidency, even if they didn't agree with him on all things. Now, to my fellow Republicans, we must not only be a unified party, we must also expand our party. We are so much better when we are bigger. We are stronger when we welcome people into our party who have different backgrounds and experiences. And
at least she recognizes that the Republican Party is, in fact, better as a Big Tent party.
Right now, we need to be strong to save America. This is a defining moment, not only for our party, but for our country. Our fellow Americans are fearful right now. Families are suffering from inflation and wages that don't keep up with prices. Young people are being...
Wages didn't keep up with prices under Trump either. Oh my God. Woman. Trump didn't unite the nation. He divided it. Trump didn't help people's wages. Wages stagnated under Trump as much as they have stagnated under Biden. The minimum wage hasn't fucking budged.
Being indoctrinated to think our country is racist and evil. The Jewish community is facing an obscene rise in anti-Semitism.
There is measurably more anti-Semitism right now because of people who are not very good at dealing with the Hamas thing, so at least I can grant that to a small degree.
Too many minorities are trapped in communities devastated by crime.
You want to know why they're trapped in those communities? Republican policies for redlining that have been a thing for years.
Our foreign enemies win when they see Americans hate each other. They see that today, whether it's on college campuses or in a field in Butler, Pennsylvania. But we can conquer those fears with strength and unity. No president can fix all of our problems alone. We have to do this together. America has an amazing ability to self-correct. In this moment...
You can self-correct. It's called not letting the orange Cheeto in. I'm done with her thing. I'm actively bored by her speech because... it's fallacies on top of fallacies. We've already done the correlation causation thing. We've pointed out how many times that she has engaged in rhetoric and not actually backed it up with anything. I wish I had Trump's foreign policies now. Doesn't name a single one of them. And that's what all this is gonna be, isn't it? I don't know how much of this Republican National Convention I can actually stomach. But we'll see how much of it we can get through together. Internet video tagline here. Hey, I just quickly want to give a thank you to all of my wonderful patrons who keep this show running. YouTube and Twitch are a pretty bumpy ride at the best of times, and the stability a Patreon provides me is worth more than I can say here. I'd also like to thank each and every one of my $20 and up patrons here, and they would be Red Joker, Britzkrieg, Cameron, Dren, Jemshin, Smiling DM, Poundini, Mabbity Babbity, Naomi, Isaac, Agamotto, Jordan, Ravi, Giuni, Kiratorian, Prisma, all of you, I'm not saying that part, and Starlight. And finally, thank you to everyone else that helps keep this channel alive. While you're here, why not check out another video? And thank you for watching.